Hello and welcome to another episode of Alkira Design Zone. My name is Misbah Rahman and I'm a technical marketing engineer at Alkira. And today in this video, I'm really excited to introduce you all to Alkira's Cloud Insight. Now, before going into the solution itself, let's talk about some of the challenges that the customer today faces as they look to embrace cloud from a visibility and governance perspective. And one of the biggest challenges that they face today is that the cloud is a multi-touch environment. You have different personas working on the cloud at the same time, like application developers deploying cloud workloads while developing different applications, cloud architects using different resources to design an enterprise-grade cloud infrastructure, DevOps trying to automate things inside the cloud, and lastly, network engineers within the corporate IT teams trying to support users connecting into the cloud. And they are all deploying different resources all the time. This new cloud infrastructure operational model breaks the traditional established organizational boundaries and allow application teams to control some aspects of network and network security, which leads to deployment of resources that deviates from the set security and network standards. Some of these resources include security groups, internet gateways, elastic IP addresses, and other resources. This whole phenomena ends up creating security loopholes within customers' cloud environments. It causes capital waste with unnecessary resources not being monitored properly. Operational challenges in terms of management of all different architecture and resources. In order to address this problem, Alkira introduced Alkira Cloud Insights, which is a unified way of managing all cloud resources across different cloud service providers through a single pane of glass. It's a point-and-click framework which allows you to have a unified way to add your cloud accounts and discover all the resources provisioned inside the cloud service providers through Alkira's portal. Once the resources are discovered, it then provides meaningful insights to evaluate the cloud resources against set of governance policies around security, cost, performance, and reliability in operations. It is like your own cloud consultant advising you on the cloud best practices in real time. Based on the insights, it also allows you to take control by taking remediation actions, either by providing in a standardized way and onboard them to Alkira, or directly fixing them inside the cloud if they are isolated outside of the Alkira environment. Lastly, you can schedule report generation to receive updates on the insight category periodically. All of these now allow enterprises to have complete visibility and governance into their cloud assets, which was done separately for each cloud provider. Enterprise can easily solve for shadow IT problems by discovering resources across all the accounts and cloud service provider through a single pane of glass. Lastly, in case of merger and acquisition, now you have a way to easily discover new resources and integrate them into your existing environment as per your standards. Now with that, let's jump into a demo and see this Cloud Insights in action. So Cloud Insights can be accessed through Alkira portal. On the Cloud Insight overview page, you see a list of accounts and the cloud service provider that are linked to this Insights environment. You see a geographical representation on how the resources are distributed across the globe. And then you have a list of available insights based on the resources that have been discovered into this environment. Now, let's take a deeper look at the inventory and the resources inside a particular cloud provider. Under inventory, let's select AWS. Now, this shows me all the resources that have been discovered as part of the AWS accounts that I have added here. For demo purposes, let's take a look at the VPCs. Now, these VPCs are basically pulled up across two accounts. We can filter those VPCs on a per account basis. And let's suppose we select a manual demo account. Now we get 18 VPCs that are part of this account. These VPCs can also be searched based on the tags. Now from here, let's take a look at one of the VPCs and take a look at the graphical view of that VPC resources. Now here, I see a quick drawing and a quick view of all the resources that are available inside VPC. For instance, here I can easily see that I got 4 subnets within this VPCs. I got 2 private subnets, 2 public subnets across different AZs. I got a NAT gateway, and along with that, I got an IGW and VGW. Now, for instance, if I identify something and I want to fix it or update it, I do have an access to the AWS console from here that actually takes me directly to the resource to fix stuff that I want to fix. Then on the right hand pane, you also see the insight related information about this VPC. For instance, here we have identified that this VPC subnet actually overlaps with another VPCs within the environment. So there is a recommendation that you can fix it, or if it's a known issue, you can ignore it. Secondly, since it has the NAT gateways and internet gateway, and it allows this VPC allows traffic from outside coming into the VPC. So from a security group perspective, it basically identifies that you should take a look at the security group to make sure that all the security groups are correctly configured and only allowing the traffic that is needed to be allowed within the VPCs. Now from here, let's go to the summary insight page. Now the summary insight page gives me a summary overview of all the insights that we are providing to our customers on the resources that have been discovered here. For an example, let's take a look at the cost optimization. Now I see here that I got 4 unassociated elastic IP address. This is a very common case where people actually tend to deploy resources, assign public IP addresses to those resources, and then when the work is done, the resource get deleted. However, the public IP address still remains within the environment, and you keep on spending money without even using those. So this gives you an overview of all the unassociated IP addresses. Once you have the view into it, you can easily go into the cloud environment and delete those and save those costs. Now, from a configuration perspective, all those insights that we are providing actually comes up based on the rule. So we have defined the rules for different types of insights. Those rules can be enabled or disabled based on customer preference. For instance, for a particular account, customer wanna disable a particular insight, they can easily do it from here. Right now, we only support the list of the rules that we have defined here, but in future, we do plan to add custom rules where you can define your own rule and basically define your own insights for your own environment. Lastly, all this information can be generated through a report. These reports can be configured by going to that plus icon, give the name of the report. You can select the cloud provider for which you want to generate the report, the accounts, and then the category. And then you can also define your occurrence, whether you wanted to generate this report on a weekly basis, monthly basis, or a quarterly basis. Then the start date of that report and your email address where this report needs to be sent. Now with that, we have the reports configured and we have the Cloud Insight fully configured and ready to go.